Good morning. Okay, so today we are on page 7. So let me get my screen open. Page 7 looks like this, and it has the queen and the king at the very top of the page. So while you get to page 7, I'm going to play the KQU song. Ready?
Have we got a show for you? It's really something special. A king, a queen, a princess too. Pigs that snort and a kangaroo. Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick! Come and see our show. Have we got a show for you? The super kids are in it. There's Cass and Alf and Lily too. You'll see them all before we're through. Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick, quick! Come and see our show. Have we got a show for you? It's really quite a story. Some pets, some laughs, a contest too. Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick, quick, quick! Come and see our show. Have we got a show for you? Use your imagination. Just sit and watch and wonder too. What will the picky princess do? Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick, 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 quick! Come and see our show. Have we got a show for you? A super duper program. Some tricks, some jokes, a dragon too. There's a treat in store for you. Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick, 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 quick! Come and see our show. Have we got a show for you? We know you will enjoy it. So come and see, it's brand new. We're ready to perform for you. Questions, kicks, and chuckles too. Quick, 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 quick! Come and see our show.
Okay, so we are on page 7. And this is the beginning of that play that we heard the Super Kids talking about yesterday. So remember, each Super Kid picked a different part that they want to be in the play. So Edabetta is the queen and Sal is the king. Now down here in a play, it has the picture of who's talking. So the first person who talks in this play is the queen, which is Edabetta. And these right here, hopefully you can see my mouse, these are the words that she says in this first sentence of the play. And then who talks next is right here is Sal. So then Sal talks and he says this sentence. And then Edabetta talks and she says these two sentences. So it's just, you don't say anything when you get to this picture. It's just who's talking. But whenever she's talking where it says the, and then there's a picture of the princess, you do say this. It doesn't have the word princess, it just has the picture of the princess. So the princess is a problem. That's what the queen says. That's the first thing she says in the play. So, excuse me. So remember, Cass is playing the princess. So every time you see Cass with this crown on her head, you're going to say the word princess. So the first thing that we're going to do is read the title of the play. So the title starts right here with the word the. So go ahead and read that title. Okay, so the title is called The Glum Princess. And when you have a play, a lot of times plays are divided into parts and each part is called an act. So this is going to be Act 1. So right here next to Act 1, Act 1 also has a title. So go ahead and read the title of Act 1. Okay, so the whole title says The Glum Princess, Act 1, The Problem. So try to think about what you think the problem is going to be. The problem might be that the princess is glum. And remember, glum means unhappy or sad. So have you ever felt glum and you needed to be cheered up? Well, the princess feels glum, so maybe they're going to see how they can cheer up the princess. So the first thing I'm going to do is play the recording of the story, and I just want you to follow along and look at the pictures. You can try to follow along with the words if you want to, but right now you really, at least you need to be following along with the pictures and looking at the pictures as you're listening to the play. Ready?
Look at the big picture at the top of page 7. The SuperKids are on a stage pretending to be characters in a play. The box under the big picture has the words that the characters say. The little pictures next to the sentences in the box tell you which character is saying the words. This play has 3 parts called acts. Listen as I read the title of the play and the title of the first act. The Glum Princess. Act 1. The Problem. The king and queen are worried about the princess. The princess is very unhappy. The queen and king can't figure out why the princess is unhappy. Listen to the queen and king discuss the problem with the princess.
The princess is a problem.
Is the princess sick?
No, the princess is not sick. The princess is sad and glum.
Now turn to pages 8 and 9.
So on the first page, there is a problem, right? What is the problem? So the problem is that the princess is sad, right? How do you think the king and queen feel about the princess being glum? They might feel upset or worried. All right, let's look at the next page, page 8. All right, here we go. Ready?
Look at the big picture at the top of pages 8 and 9. Even though the princess has lots of toys, she still looks upset. The king and queen are talking about ideas for cheering up the princess. Listen to the queen and king say the words on page 8.
Will gifts help the princess?
No, the princess has lots of fun gifts, but the princess is still glum.
Let's put on a pet contest. The princess can pick an animal for a pet.
And the princess will grin at last.
The question asker is...
Hold on, I'm going to pause right there. So they said that gifts didn't help the princess because she has tons of gifts, but she's still sad. Do you remember what their idea was? What's their idea to make the princess happy? So the king and queen want to put on a pet contest. And so to cheer her up, they want to send in different animals, and the princess can look at all of the animals and decide which animal she wants for a pet. Would that cheer you up if you were sad? Well, we're going to see if it cheers up the princess. Okay, before we listen to this page, you need to get out a pencil because, and let me get mine out. See where it says this pink word right here, like? In every blank, it needs to say like. So you're going to trace like because in the story, it says like right here. So like. Then on the next one, like, L-I-K-E. And then the last one, like, L-I-K-E. Okay, that way it says like, because whenever the question asker asks his questions, you're going to read the word like in here. And remember, Icky is the question asker, and look, he has a big question mark on his shirt because he's asking questions, and so everything he says ends with a question mark. He's only asking questions in this play. Okay, if you need more time to write like, you can pause the video, but here we go.
Is not sure that a pet would make the princess happy. Listen to the question asker say the words on page 9.
But will the princess like a pet? Will the princess like a big pet? Will the princess like an odd pet? Will the princess like a fat pet?
The question asker asked lots of good questions. Maybe we will find out the answers in the next act.
Okay, so you can go ahead and stop right there for the day if you want to read this story by yourself. If you want to read it with me, because I'm going to go back through and reread it, you can continue listening because I'm going to point to each word and read each word. But if you want to read it with like your mom or your dad or your sister or someone instead, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so I am back on page 7. The first thing I'm going to do is read the title. Ready? So make sure your finger is underneath the word the. Ready? The Glum Princess. Act 1, the problem. Okay, put your finger on the word the. The queen is about to talk. Ready? The princess is a problem. And the king says, is the princess sick? The queen says, no, the princess is not sick. The princess is sad and glum. Okay, now let's look at page 8 and 9. I can only open to page 8 on here. The first person to talk is the king. And remember, they're talking about if gifts will help the princess. Will gifts help the princess? No, she has lots of gifts, right? So she's still sad and glum. The first person to talk is the king. Touch the word will. Ready? Will gifts help the princess? And the queen says, no, the princess has lots of fun gifts, but the princess is still glum. And the king says, let's put on a pet contest. The princess can pick an animal for a pet. And the queen says, and the princess will grin at last. Okay, on this next page, this is Icky, and he is the question asker. And I already got rid of the word like down here, but you should have the word like. Okay, that's kind of small, but okay, ready? We're gonna start right here with Icky, so touch the word that says but. Ready? But will the princess like a pet? Will the princess like a big pet? Will the princess like an odd pet? Will the princess like a fat pet? Okay, so think about what kind of pet you think the princess is going to want. And that is it for today's. We'll go on to Act 2 tomorrow, and we'll find out what kind of pet maybe the princess wants. All right, see you tomorrow. Well, I guess next Monday. Bye.